fact of this summit proves that you're starting to win that fight. And most importantly, I want to express my admiration for Albert Ojeda and his family. In fact, I'd like to ask his aunt and uncle to please stand up because I believe they're here. Thanks for believing in Albert and in the American college system, that it works. Albert's tenacity to get through what he's gone through is so often the story I hear from other community college students. What they're doing to even drive themselves to a community college campus today, or to raise their young child while they're getting a degree or hold down a couple of jobs, it's really something. When I was growing up, the U.S. led the world in the number of college degrees awarded. Now we're 12th. Times have changed, and we've got to change too. Almost half of American college students attend community colleges, but a relatively small percentage of those students actually graduate with a certificate or a degree that helps them get on to a good job. So our task as a society now is to get that percentage up. We have to have a conversation that's about college completion and make sure that all the incentives are in place so that students who walk in the front door of our community colleges complete with that degree or certificate they set out to get. Or if their goal is to transfer to a four-year institution, that's great too, but let's talk about completion. So to that end, I'd like to announce the Gates Foundation is launching a $35 million grant program called Completion by Design. Our investment is to help community colleges redesign every aspect of the student experience to help students reach that ultimate goal, which is a degree or certificate that matters in the job market. There are over 1,000 community colleges in the U.S., and most of them, when you talk to them, they're doing incredibly innovative things around their students and around jobs. Some have figured out how to streamline the enrollment process so it's much quicker for a student to enroll and to get the financial aid they need. Others have sped up that remediation process so that students don't have to spend a long time relearning a subject that they learned in high school. Just remediate the parts they need and let them move on. And other schools have simplified the transfer process. So the next step for community colleges is to put all these pieces of puzzle together, from enrollment to guidance through a course selection to remediation if that's what's needed, and also to link in technology. If we link in technology and have hybrid learning, students won't always have to drive to that community college campus to get the classes they need. They can do some of the work away from the community colleges. So I think we can even develop learn and earn programs so students can make progress towards their credential while they're also holding down a job. So at the Foundation, we're committed to collaborating with community colleges as they do this hard work of developing the courses and changing things in their community colleges so they can significantly increase their graduation rate and so they can disseminate the best ideas of what's actually working for them in their community. In this country, hard work is supposed to pay off, and I'm excited to see that there's a dynamic group of people who've come here today to guarantee that it pays off for young adults who attend community colleges and who work so hard, like Albert, to make their dreams come true. Thank you.
Thank you, Melinda, for the important work you are doing and for joining us here today. I would now like to welcome to stage another amazing woman who has worked tirelessly on behalf of the President to bring together businesses and community colleges to dramatically improve partnerships between them. Skills for America is a national initiative to encourage employers and labor unions to work in partnership with community colleges to maximize workforce development strategies, job training programs, and ultimately job placement. Please welcome a member of the President's Economic Recovery Advisory Board, Penny Pritzker.
Thank you, Dr. Biden. It is a thrill to be here today. As Melinda referenced, our community colleges are wonderful assets. Yesterday, the President's Economic Recovery Advisory Board proposed, and the President endorsed, a new initiative that is designed to make our community colleges even more effective. The initiative is Skills for America's Future. It's a collaboration of business, labor, the federal government agencies, and community colleges. Its goal is to better educate students and workers so that they can earn a credential or a degree with real economic value that can lead to a job and to a solid career pathway. During this past year, the President's Economic Recovery Advisory Board convened meetings and heard leaders in many different industries: healthcare, financial services, small business, energy and utilities, service and retail, technology, manufacturing, and construction. The PRAB Subcommittee on Education and Training identified public-private partnerships as one of the best ways to improve the skills of America's workers. We also learned that the private sector is eager and willing to help. 5 major corporations have already joined this effort. They are Accenture, Gap Inc., McDonald's, Pacific Gas and Electric, and United Technologies Corporation. And we're just starting. Skills for America's Future will be part of the Economic Opportunities Program at the nonprofit Aspen Institute and will work closely with the President's new interagency task force. Some of the initial goals are: 1, to recruit additional private sector and labor leaders to build a national network of high-impact partnerships at community colleges, basically bringing the program to scale. 2nd is to create a certification for best-in-class partnerships. We want to also provide a national voice for effectiveness of those partnerships. We'll work with the Interagency Task Force to align workforce programs funded by the Department of Labor and the Department of Education with market forces, and work with the task force to develop stackable credentials, as well as a better use of technology, as Melinda referenced. Our last initial goal is to ensure that every state has at least one high-impact partnership between industry and a community college. Our real goal is that every state has multiple partnerships. We can't begin soon enough. We hope to spark a movement nationwide to strengthen America's workforce. Putting resources into the skills and development of workers is one of the best investments that our nation can make. Thank you, Dr. Biden, for inviting me to be here.
Thanks. Thank you, Penny. I'm so grateful to see leaders from so many segments of our society coming together to express their confidence in the ability of community colleges to lead the way into the next century. Our work here is so important to identifying what is working and what areas need additional attention. We're going to break up into smaller groups so that a robust exchange of ideas will be easier. We are looking at 6 specific areas today: industry partnerships, college completion, pathways to baccalaureate degrees, financial aid, military and veterans programs, and community colleges of the future. At the conclusion of these breakouts, we will reconvene to share our work and consider our next steps. Please follow members of our staff who will direct you to your breakouts. I'm planning to stop by each one of them to listen in, and I will look forward to seeing you again at the wrap-up session. And since I am a teacher, don't think you're going to leave without homework. Thank you.
I told them.